I'm going to admit the ending almost got me. It's bold. It's a bold choice to leave a cliffhanger for a week. Ooh, if you didn't know, oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Will, and welcome back to another spoiler review for episode 3 of the Legend of Vox Machina Season 2. This is episode entitled The Sunken Tomb, and this episode's it's got some dangers, it's got some action, it's got some death. If you are new to the channel and this happens to be your first time checking me out, hi, my name is Will, and I do geeky stuff on the internet. I do reviews, reactions, discussions, some gaming, some drinking. Usually like to just have a lot of fun, and I hope I can make you laugh, or at least allow you to enjoy the content that you are absorbing today. I think that's the word I'm looking for. If you are interested in that sort of thing and you like to hear from a geeky bear like myself, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It would really help this channel out, and I'd love to get to know you. So feel free to like, comment, do all that fun jazz. Let's talk about this episode. This episode, entitled The Sunken Tomb, is the quest for the first of the vestiges of divergence that Vox Machina need to secure in order to battle the dragons of the Chroma Conclave. We do get some insight before they start attempting to locate the tomb, thanks to Pike and doing some, it seemed like astral projection, but it might just be, it was just a vision presented to her by the Everlight of what's currently happening in Amon with these dragons. It looks like they're starting to expand outside of Amon and further into Tal'Dorei, which is going to spell bad news for places like Whitestone and any of the other neighboring major cities in Tal'Dorei. So it kind of puts Vox Machina on a little bit of a time crunch, but they are trying to locate the tomb of the Raven Queen's initial champion, which is information that is presented to them thanks to Zara and Kashaw, who decide to tag along unbeknownst to Vox Machina. And of course, Vex and Vax do not trust them, and I'm completely with you guys 100%. Don't trust them at all. We also get in this episode heavily focus on the backstory of Vex'ahlia and Vax'ildan and the time that was spent with their abusive, pure-blooded elfin father. Clearly there is some species or some underlying racism when it comes to how elves treat half-elves, apparently, calling them, mistakes and abominations or whatever like that. It's not great, so you can kind of see why their initial home life was kind of shit, which also led to them running away when they were younger. You can also tell there is a lot more concern, mainly on Vax's half, on protecting Vex, or keeping her close by or not losing her, which we get a lot of explanation through the backstories of the episode, and really kind of plays into what happens in the last few moments of episode 3. Once Kashaw and Zara show up, they're able to kind of figure out where the temple is and to try to get into it. It happens to be inside of a lake, so it takes a little bit of teamwork between Zara and Keyleth using their magic in order to part the lake that it is in order to get in there to locate the tomb of the champion of the Matron of Ravens. His name is Pervon Sol, which they have a lovely little laugh during a campfire about. It is kind of a funny name, and I'm pretty sure, I'm going to guess that sort of name didn't fly well at the table.
It was named Pervon.
Yeah, he was.
Pervon?
Pervon. P-U-R-V-A-N.
Last name, Pedobear.
But they're able to navigate their way through the temple to try to get to the tomb. They get separated at a certain point and they have to deal with some of the denizens or the creatures that have turned this temple into a home. And get some really bloody combat, some really cool teamwork, begrudgingly teamwork between Zara and Vex'ahlia. We also start getting teases and more hints as to the effect that the blood sword, is what I'm just going to call it, is having on Grog. And this is the first time that Pike is noticing it. And she's starting to get concerned for her friend for obvious sakes. And we get to see more and more, a little bit more of their backstory between what happened after Vex and Vax left their father, trying to live out in the woods. There's some strife a little bit between the twins, where Vexalia is a little over how much of an overbearing nature that Vax is having when they were younger, which is really sad when you think about it. She really wanted to try to make things work with her dad. It is her father, and albeit she knows what he's like, she wants to try to make it work. And of course, Vax doesn't want it. He can see through it. She's obviously a daddy's girl and wanted to have a father that loved and respected her. And unfortunately, this guy is a complete asshole. And it starts to put a little bit of strife between the two when they were younger, but didn't affect them as much now that they're older, except for the case of Vax, when we see that Vax truly doesn't feel like he can be without his sister, which is interesting when you look back in season 1, how they were together all the time. And a lot of to try to keep things from getting between them was really on Vex's part. It's an interesting role reversal where we see it coming from Vax more within these first 3 episodes, and primarily in this episode for a good reason. He is very much overprotected. He's very worried about this mission. And it gets to the point, once they're reunited, they actually make it to the tomb. They have to decipher which tomb it is, and of course, Kashaw and Zara already pieced out after the scuffle in order to try to get to the tomb first to secure the vestige before Vox Machina can, because they feel like it should be with the Slayers take, not with a bunch of tourists, according to Kashaw's words. Once they are able to locate the tomb, thanks to Percy and Trinket doing a little looking around, even though Vax made it perfectly clear that he wanted everyone to not touch anything until he had a chance to look around. He is the rogue. He should look around. They are able to find a sarcophagus and find the vestige. But before Vexalia can change her mind about looking before Vax had a chance to look, Percy accidentally touches it, causing a failsafe or a booby trap to go off that instantly kills Vexalia. It is really just quick. There's no time to react to it. Immediately dead. And I love how this episode kind of pivots between the scene of her lying dead and everyone trying to revive her, and Vax coming up to see what happened and is completely destroyed. Mirroring when they were younger, lost in the woods, how Vax confesses to Vex that he knows that she doesn't need him, but he needs her. Begged her not to leave. It is very heartbreaking. It's a very heartbreaking scene. And that's how the episode ends. I'm very surprised to a certain extent that that's how they ended this string of first 3 episodes, with the death of one of your main characters, which is a huge thing. And I want to say she's like the first one of the group to die. Like to die, and that's pretty intense. So that's how the episode ends. So a couple things, and again, if you were watching, this is a spoiler review. Based off of like some of the images from the trailer, you can kind of guess that this doesn't stick. As a watcher of the episode, it's very much so a shock moment, because it comes from out of nowhere. There's no explanation as to what happened, and we've already seen that although they have people who can do healing on their team, we've never seen anyone get resurrected. We've never seen one of them die. We've seen them get close in season 1, but this is the first time one of them has died. And I think that's a fantastic way of ending this first string of episodes. But on a very serious note, it's pretty surprising. Again, if you don't know the current state of things or you don't know what happens next, this is very shocking. It's still brutal to watch. You just saw one of them just get iced without any sort of warning. It's something that could have possibly been avoided if she listened to her brother. I don't know which one's older. I can't tell. I want to say, I think Vax is slightly older than Vex. But yeah, that's episode 3. It's a great episode. It's a great cliffhanger to end this return to the team, return to Vox Machina, return to the world of Exandria. It's a great way of ending this action-packed, brutal first 3 episodes of the season 2. It sets the tone for the entire episode beautifully, that anybody can die. shit got real quick and escalated to maximum levels of what the f***. They have a huge mission well beyond what they had with their first season. The dangers, who can you trust? Allies are going to be kind of few and far between possibly until they achieve their mission of finding the vestiges. And also, how does Vexalia get revived? Does she get revived? At what great costs are they going to be willing to pay in order to resurrect one of their friends? You know, there's a price for everything, and I'm pretty sure in episode 4 we're going to find out that price real quick. You can't be in the tomb of the goddess of death and not expect some death. You put that on a shirt. Should I? Those are just my thoughts on episode 3. The Sunken Tomb of the Legend of Vox Machina. That's not the full title. It's The Sunken Tomb. The series is The Legend of Vox Machina. I can talk. So let me know your thoughts on episode 3 in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you like this format for me reviewing season 2. Do you like the fact that I'm doing them individually? Is that something you'd like to see for the rest of the episodes? Would you rather see me try to jam all this stuff into one episode? Or does it feel more natural to kind of talk about them individually, even though they all drop at the same time? So I'd love that sort of feedback. If you would, please let me know that in the comments, and anything else you'd like to talk about in the comments when it comes to Critical Role or The Legend of Vox Machina. This is a spoiler review, so if you want to talk spoilers, feel free. But if you could, give a little bit of a warning if you're going well beyond the current episode. Just because, like, if people really want to kind of experience it as they go. That sort of thing. Again, it's spoiler, so anyone watching this, you should know this is a spoiler review. That is going to do it for this review. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for checking out this and all my videos. I really do appreciate it. If you did happen to like this video and you liked what you saw and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. It would really help me out, and I'd really appreciate it. It would make me feel oh so good. So feel free to do that. Like and share it around the internet. I'd really appreciate that as well. You can follow me on a lot of different social media platforms listed at the end of this video. I have a ton of videos on this channel. The previous 2 episodes, spoiler reviews, should be on this channel now, so check those out as well. Like, share, subscribe, like I said, all that fun stuff. And as always, until next time, I will catch you later. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did like this video, why not give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends? You can subscribe to the channel by clicking on my gorgeous little face right over there. You can follow me on all the various social media platforms right below. And last but certainly not least, if you've got a few extra minutes, why not check out one of the lovely videos floating right over here. Later.